fired up. We made it through Motorboat Monday, Two-Stepping Tuesday, little hump day action yesterday, and now we are all excited for a little Thirsty Thursday, and we are busy. The historian's going to join me, Jay Ham. We are definitely going to talk about Ja's dunk on Wemby. Even though it didn't count, it was awesome. Talk a little Grizz-Nass. We're definitely going to talk about the Tigers, who have some action tonight playing Temple. That's at 6 o'clock on the Deuce. So we got a little Tiger basketball to touch on. We got a little Grizzlies. All this is going down at 11:30. 12 o'clock, you know, we talking hot, gosh almighty, the Rebels, who helped out the Memphis Tigers this week. Missouri helped out the Memphis Tigers this week. Michigan State's helping out the Tigers this week. Come on, baby. Keep giving love to the Memphis Tigers. We got a lot to discuss about the Ole Miss Rebels as well. Again, the Rebel Walk's very own founder and publisher, Evie Van Pelt, at 12 o'clock. 12:30. You know I give you wood. You want it, I give it to you. And it's going to be pretty good. We're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to talk about some of the funnier things that Bob Uecker did. Because if you didn't hear today, sadly, Bob Uecker passed away today at 90 years old. And my man, if you don't remember Bob Uecker, then you must be very young. But he had been the voice for the Milwaukee Brewers for, 54 years? Like, that's unbelievable. 54 years with the Brewers. He had a baseball run from his playing days to scouting days to even the 2 years that he got to the broadcast booth with the Braves. Then the Brewers, by the way, was drafted by the Milwaukee Braves. Caught some studs. Got a World Series ring with the Cardinals. Like, was one of the funniest dudes in the world. And if you've ever watched Major League, shockingly, he played a broadcaster in that great movie. That was a good one, man. I love me a little Major League. What is it, Deuce Vaughn? That dude, man, that's Charlie Sheen, baby. That was before he got his, remember the three, what did he call his three girlfriends at the time?
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh, come on, y'all. 901-360-8255, 901-360-8255. When Charlie Sheen lost his mind, he had those three blondes, and he had names for them. I can't remember. But again, back to Bob Uecker. Sorry, my ADD will get you. Dude was on The Tonight Show. Starting back in 1969, Radio Hall of Fame. But I will always remember a few things. I'm going to play one of them during Hardwood. It's hilarious. But the Miller Lite commercials when I was growing up were hilarious. Like the Bob Uecker Miller Lite commercials, if you haven't seen them, they were back in the 80s. They are great. There's one with him and Rodney Dangerfield that is just, it just trips me out. In fact, it's the first time that we actually had, I think, I guess you would call a T on national television. If you remember the commercial, remember they take off the mask? Like Rodney Dangerfield happened to be Bob Uecker. Like some really rich guy was actually Rodney Dangerfield. And the girl that Rodney Dangerfield was leaving the party with actually pulled off his mask and was a dude. So that's the first T, right? On TV?
I guess so.
Man, 80s, baby. But anyway, R.I.P. to Bob Uecker. You were a living legend, man. And, man, just enjoy that next journey, homie. Hope they got baseball. Hey, man, you think they got baseball?
Of course. You ever seen Field of Dreams?
Damn right. Damn right I have.
Well, actually, maybe they don't, because he did ask, is this heaven? They said, no, it's Iowa.
Well, dude, he thought it was heaven.
That's true. But I guess he hadn't been to heaven because he was just a wandering spirit, so.
By the way, Bob Uecker, though, think about some of the, did you know that his career, he was only a 200 hitter?
Is that right? Wow.
Got a World Series ring, but he caught dudes like Sandy Koufax, Ferguson, Jenkins, Gaylord Perry. Had a nice little run. Now, we got to talk a little college basketball off the jump. I made me some money. I hope you listened to me yesterday and took Iowa State against Kansas. Lord. Did you watch any of that game, Mr. Dacus?
Unfortunately, I actually did not get to see any of that game. I was running around last night, early in the night, so I missed it, but I was keeping up with it on my phone. I mean, the fact that Kansas was held to 30 points in the first half is really...
They only scored 27 in the second half, Holmes.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
Hunter Dickinson couldn't put a ball in the hole to save his life.
Yeah.
He was, I think, 3 for 10. Didn't even have double-digit points. In fact, they only had one starter last night for Kansas on the whole damn team, starter, reserve, that even scored in double figures, and that was my man Mayo.
Yeah.
Zeke Mayo.
He's been really good for them. A South Dakota State transfer. He's been really good.
Well, Curtis Jones was really damn good. Did you see that deep logo 3 he shot?
Yeah.
Money. Did you
really
see
good.
how well they shot the 3-ball yesterday? Mm-hmm. My goodness. 8 for 13, didn't shoot a million of them, but the ones they shot were money. Money. And they had, they took care of the ball, forced Kansas into a lot of turnovers, won the rebounding by I think 10. Like Iowa State owned them, and that damn gym has got to be hard to play in.
It's a fantastic place. We were actually talking about this last night.
The atmosphere for that game, I actually think, is better than the Cameron Crazies.
Wow, that's a strong statement. I'll say these two things. One, we also got to mention the play of Deshaun Jackson off the bench, which he played at last year, John?
He played for the Philadelphia Eagles when he was a wide receiver.
Not true. That's
You don't remember Deshaun Jackson?
This is Dishon Jackson.
Oh.
Ishon. He played for last year college basketball program. Memphis is going to play them soon.
Temple.
Charlotte, John. He was
Hey,
a Charlotte
we're playing
49er.
Temple today.
I
That's
know, but they
sooner
play.
than them.
I know, but they play Charlotte on Sunday.
So he played with Biff Poggi on the football team?
No, he played basketball. He was on their team. Actually, funny enough, Charlotte's basketball team from last year, they've got a guy who's playing really well at Iowa State this year. They've got a guy who's playing really well at Tennessee this year. So they turned some guys into Power 5 players. But we were talking about it yesterday, Brett and I were, about this Iowa State basketball team.
They
and
are
really
good.
Well, really where they've come in the last just 5 or so years.
Really, the last 3 years have been ridiculous with that run.
I remember Memphis played them in T.J. Otzelberger's first season as the head coach.
Is this his 5th season?
This is his, let's see, 1, 2, 3. I think this is his 4th season. Let me look.
Okay, because when you
1,
said the last
2,
5
3,
seasons,
4.
I was thinking it was his 3rd season, and then you said 5,
No.
like 5 years ago. I was like, man, I thought he just went the year he took it over. The very first year, he had that crazy ass run.
That's right. So this is his 4th year as the head coach of Iowa State. His first year, they went 23-13, including a win over Memphis. They were 11 seed in the NCAA tournament, made it all the way to the Sweet 16. But if you remember, the year before that, Iowa State was 2-22. And they were pathetic. They were horrible. They go out, they hire Otzelberger. I remember when Memphis was playing them, and everyone was like, "This is the next big coach. I mean, he is going to be fantastic," and he really has been. I mean, he has turned Iowa State into a powerhouse.
Yeah, I just got to say, like, they can shoot it. They play very. They don't really make stupid turnovers. They rebound the basketball. They defend. Like Iowa State, no wonder they're number 2 in the country right now.
That's right.
They look
Their only
damn
loss
good.
was a 2-point loss against Auburn. So I mean, even their loss, they played
By the
great.
way, who's number 1 right now?
Auburn, yeah.
And they played when Johnny Broome was healthy.
Exactly.
How long do you think Johnny Broome's going to be out with this ankle, man?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, the fact that he didn't need surgery is huge. We were talking to Kevin Sweeney yesterday, and he made a good point that they looked good. What was it, 2 nights ago without him?
They absolutely beat Mississippi State's butt.
Yeah, but he made a good point that usually a lot of times you'll see when a star player gets injured, the first game after he's out, team plays really well. They're kind of rallying around themselves, hey, we can do it. We're going to win for him, all that stuff. And then it's really the second or third game without him that they kind of come back down to earth. So I'll be interested to see, what Auburn shows this weekend. I don't know who they play.
Auburn they're on
Georgia,
Saturday, aren't they?
Yeah, on the road against Georgia. So
Ooh,
it'll be
Georgia.
tough.
By the way, speaking of Georgia, last night also, so I told y'all to take Iowa State. Hit that bad boy, felt real good at halftime of the Tennessee basketball game last night.
The Vols were down.
By 1.
Yeah.
And they couldn't hit the broadside of a barn in that basketball game. The first half was one of the worst shooting performances that you will see. I mean, it was freaking ugly. Like, I mean, I didn't bet on the game to start it. They were minus 11.5. But Tennessee in the first half shot 27%, 9 of 13, trailed 26-25 at halftime. Chaz Lanier was 1 for 9. Ziegler was 1 for 7. Gainey was 1 for 5. That's 3 for 24 combined with their studs and 14% shooting. Yet, Tennessee's defense was so locked down, they held Georgia down because they won that first. They were in the game in the first half because of defense. While they only scored 25 and shot terrible, they held Georgia to 26. And then in the second half, I don't know if anybody watched that game and paid any attention. If you got that halftime line like I did, you are feeling Gucci. Because it was, I think, 7 minutes and 30 seconds in, Georgia had scored 4 points. Tennessee was just punishing them. Defensively, they were getting out in offense and in transition. They were making every damn shot. I mean, it was in a blink of an eye, they were down by 1, and next thing you know, I look up, it's 45-30. They can beat you in many ways, and they couldn't miss. And then you got to give it to the little pickpocket himself. Don't let that man loose in New York City. Don't let this man loose in New Orleans. Don't be coming down to Beale Street, Ziegler. We know you're a thief. Did you know he broke a little record last night? Ziegler is now the all-time Tennessee steals leader. He passed Vescovi, remember? Santiago Vescovi and Vincent Yarborough. Yarborough 211, Vescovi 212. He passed it with 213. I think he got one more and finished with 214. But Ziegler is a baller. That little dude's ridiculous. Tennessee, when they get hot, they can run you out the gym. And defensively, if they can't make a shot, they can stay with anybody because they are locked down. And then speaking of UT, did you watch the Red River rivalry last night?
Yeah, it's a fun game.
I know that I did. And I almost cost Texas the game, by the way, Dacus.
How's that?
So, I won my first 2 bets of the night, and I'm feeling good. And I'm doing my little research. You know how I do. Like doing a little studying, doing a little digging, looking at stuff, looking at this, looking at that, reading about this. And next thing you know, I'm like, damn, man. They are trying to get you to take Oklahoma. This is a must-win game for OU. They're at home. They're only a 2.5-point favorite. But you look a little deeper, Texas was better defensively, both offensively as well. Like the edge, both teams can score. But you had to trust, like Texas in some big moments in a game like that was going to be able to handle their business. And boy, did they. So all of a sudden, I am feeling so good about this game. I mean, I pounded it. Not pounded, I did pound it. It was bigger than my first 2 bets, but it was a decent little night because, I'm saving up for my big swings on football this week. But, I'm sitting here looking at Texas, who led basically almost the whole way. And I'm like, you know what? This is amazing. You know what I'm about to do? I got this one in the bag. I've won. I'm not going to freak out. Texas was up 55-34. They're up by 21 points. There was 13 minutes probably left in the game. I'm like, man, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and walk my dog. So I took my boy Bentley out on a walk, to get him his little, 2 walks in a day. He's a little pimp. He enjoys it. He loves it. It's like his favorite damn thing to do. I don't take my phone on a walk, I want to look at my phone. I want to look at the sky, look at my dog, pay attention. Don't let him get run over by a car. Things like that. So I am 100% feeling like I won that basketball game. Up 21 when I left with only 13 minutes to play. I walk into the house. And I almost fell over. 3 minutes left in the game. It was a 3-point game. I'm like, what the hell happened? Well, after the game, I had to go back and watch it a little bit and love the fact that you can rewind and watch. They went on a 17-0 run. Texas went 5 minutes without a point after they were leading by 21. Didn't feel very good at that point, but you know what? Who made the free throws? Texas. Who helped us out? I love that officiating, baby. Yeah, called them fouls, missed them things. Almost feel like y'all had Texas last night. Thank you if you did. Thank you if you did. But man, college basketball is getting to a point where, I'm getting into the groove. I mean, realistically, Tuesdays and Wednesday nights, SEC hoops. If you're not watching SEC hoops right now, like, what the hell are you doing? Because it's every single night ridiculous. Real good basketball games. And I'm telling you, if you inline bet, watch these junts for a half. Kind of get a feel the first couple minutes of the second half. There's some money to be made out there on live betting, people. Like, real good money. Now, speaking of money, I don't bet on Memphis Tigers. One, because I love the Tigers. So if they didn't cover and won, I would be agitated. So then I'd come to these airwaves agitated instead of congratulating. Also, it hurts when they lose, man. So if it hurts when they lose and I lose money, it's like getting kicked in the junk twice. Not just once, but come back for a second kick. And that's just wrong. You don't do it twice. So that's why I don't bet on Memphis. Now I bet it on everybody else. I don't bet it on Ole Miss football, and I don't bet on Memphis basketball. I ain't afraid to bet on anything else. And you're like, John, what about the Grizzlies? If I'm in the arena, I'm gambling on that sucker. And I don't have the emotional. I like the Grizzlies. I love the Grizzlies. They're great for the city. Jaws a pimp. Yada, 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 yada. But it's not the same like when I was a child. I remember Elliot Perry in the Coliseum. Seeing Penny Hardaway. It's just there's just something that's built in different. Now, it's crazy to me that no more people in Memphis are like this because nobody shows up at the games unless they're playing Ole Miss or Mississippi State. But at least that is how it is for me. Tonight, I will, if you're crazy enough to bet on Memphis and Temple, at the end of the show, we'll give you a few basketball games to bet on tonight. And realistically, it's a really crummy slate tonight.
Speak for yourself, John, please.
What game?
Got a great game on right now. My boys over in Maine are playing right now.
What do you mean?
Flag's going to play there next year.
Cooper Flag?
His twin brother Ace. But still, a Flag's going to be there next year.
I'm like, wait a second. Like, when did this guy decide that he's coming back
Wouldn't that be crazy?
I mean, he's going to the NBA after this year,
I always
right?
wondered that, yeah, because Cooper Flag's first offer was Maine, and his brother...
How old was he?
He was
like 12?
He was pretty young. I don't know exactly how young he was, but it was his first offer. He's pretty young, and he has a twin brother. And because he went, Cooper Flag reclassified.
Wait a second, hold on. He has a twin brother.
His twin brother that's
God,
or maybe
how bad would that suck that one of your freaking twin is like Gucci, and you're like a old beat down.
And he
duffel
follows
bag.
him around. He follows him around. John. They went to when Cooper was at Montverde. Ace went and played at Montverde. Now this year, since Cooper is in Carolina with Duke, his brother is playing at a high school in North Carolina, and so they kind of follow each other around. Well, next year he's committing to, or he's already committed. He's going to play at Maine next year. I don't know if Cooper reclassified. I don't remember exactly how, but he's still in high school. He's going to Maine next year to play basketball. And I always told myself, the last couple of years when Cooper Flag's I was like, well, wouldn't it be great if he was like, bro, I want to play with you in college. I'm going to go and commit to Maine. And you got the number one player in the country playing for Maine, but that didn't happen.
You got me thinking about this. Speaking of twins,
okay,
who are the best twins to ever play sports? Like, I think of
just sports in general.
Like
that's a tough question.
Rondé and Tiki Barber were the first people that popped into my head.
That's a good one.
Now the Lopez twins, one's like terrible and one's all right. You got John Harbaugh and Jim aren't twins, are they?
No, they're not twins.
They're just brothers. Dude, this is actually a hard thing to think. There's not that many twins out there.
The Thompson brothers are twins. Sir and Amin Thompson, they're twins. The Morris brothers, they're twins. They're twins, aren't they? Yeah.
Damn, that's actually like Rondé and Tiki, both like one running back, one cornerback, both badass.
Yeah.
Rondé never, Tiki never got the Super Bowl ring though.
Mm-hmm.
Damn good running back. Had a lot of fumbling issues when he first started out. You know.
Yeah, sure did.
What about? Did you say the Morris twins?
Yeah, sure did.
I'm trying to remember which one was good.
I mean, they look exactly alike. Hard to separate them sometimes, you know.
Damn, dude. I would hate. Remember Ozzy and Jose Canseco? Like they're twins.
Mm-hmm.
I remember. How bad would that be? You got you're literally oh, you're doing something to cheat. You can tell which one took steroids.
I don't know when this story was written. I'm trying to find it. There's a story on The Ringer about twins in the NBA. And whenever this was written, and I guess it's still the truth, this season alone has featured 6 pair of twins. Eamon and Asor.
Now, this year?
I don't know. This might go back to last year. I don't know exactly when this was written.
Oh, I got a text. It says, don't forget Devin and Jason McCourty.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's
a really good one.
Eamon and Asor Thompson, Brooke and Robin Lopez, Cody and Caleb Martin, Markeith and Marcus Morris, Keegan and Chris Murray, Julian and Justin Champagny. In total, twins represent roughly 2% of all NBA players this season, a record share for any North American professional sports league.
That's absolutely wild.
This was last year, I guess, because it says, and the NBA has more twins on the way. Jazz rookie Taylor Hendricks' twin brother Tyler plays basketball at Central Florida. Cooper Flagg, the nation's top high school player, is a twin, as is Duke center Kyle Filipowski, a projected first-round pick. So,
I just looked this up to make sure I wasn't wrong. I'm just going to go out on a limb, and I would say the greatest twins in pro sports history doesn't have to be Rondé and Tiki Barber.
Gotta be.
You got Rondé spent 16 years in the NFL with the Bucks, had a Super Bowl ring, 40 interceptions, 20-plus sacks. Tiki played his entire career with the Giants organization, 10 years. He became one of the all-time greats. 10,449 yards rushing, 55 touchdowns, 586 receptions. Like, damn, they're definitely the best twins. And I don't know how I got off on this. 17,000 total yards. How did I get on the twin thing?
I don't know, but we have a caller who wants to talk twins.
Bring it up, man.
If you want to go callers.
Let's go twin, man. What would you do for a twin? Hello, caller. What's your name?
He didn't tell you this is Elvis, Johnny.
Yo, what up?
Put it on your call log, John. If you had looked, you would have known.
Thank you. I didn't.
I'll come to your rescue whenever you stumble. The best twins that ever played were the Van Arsdales in the NBA in the 60s.
Thank you, because Elvis, I wasn't around in the 60s, and I never would have thought of them. How good were they?
They were like starters, but, kind of like John Paxson. Like that. They played for the Bulls.
Mm-hmm. So they were both little studs back then. I would say that they're very, very good, but I don't know about, when you got two twins that played 26 years combined in the NFL, that's kind of like, at least where I think I'm putting my gold mantle, Elvis.
Hey, let me ask you something while I got you.
What you got?
Since you bring up the subject, you and Miloshin ain't twins, are you?
No. Why? Do we look alike?
Well, I just wondered.
No, we aren't Twinkies.
It's a great question.
My beard is very, very gray, but I still got a lot of black hair on top of my head, don't I?
Hey, I talked to your head coach who used to run Quail Ridge, which is now no more. He used to be at Quail Ridge.
Which one? Jerry Ellis, or are you talking about my man, oh, my gosh, don't do this, John. This is called
I never
Smoke
got
and Mirror.
his name, but he
Coach
was
Haney.
your head.
Whew.
Haney, yeah.
Sorry, Coach
That's
Haney.
it.
I ate an edible this morning. Sorry about that.
He said you were a baller, man.
Oh, thanks, Elvis. Thank you, Coach Haney. I tried.
The only thing I got against you, the only bad thing about you is you're an Ole Miss fan.
It's by
That's right.
It's by blood though. My daughters, I was a Memphis. I am Memphis guy, but man, once your babies, the people you're never gonna love anybody more than you love your children. The two people I love most in this world. Both went to Ole Miss, and my youngest cheering at Ole Miss. And by the way, my youngest is now in Orlando. She flew last night down there. Good luck to her in the Nationals. Bring back the national championship in cheerleading. Good luck to her. But yeah, man, now I'm a big Ole Miss fan because, by the way, if you ever go down there, you will come back with more mental images that are just amazing. Like, it's just a beautiful place, Elvis. Be blessed, homie. We got to take a break. I'm so late. I got Isaac Simpson on the other side. We got to talk Tigers. We got to talk Grizzlies. So don't touch the dial. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows. Stay up to date with station events and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Mid-South, it's time for a new year and a new ride from Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. Get 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage, a perfect compact hatchback for commutes, getaways, and just about everything else for $299 a month. Or buy Mirage for $18,410, gets 43 MPG highway. Or take your pick from 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid PHEV, named 2025 Family Green Car of the Year for 3 straight years. Or 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander, now just $399 a month. Plus, get peace of mind with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Get to Gossett Mitsubishi today to start your year off right. 1870 Covington Pike and 24/7 at MemphisMitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Military rebate Mirage RHO 15630, MSRP 18410, PHEV RZO 66681, MSRP 42750, Outlander RZO 88655, MSRP 32770. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
Hi, it's the Herd. NFL playoffs? We're talking about NFL playoffs? You bet we are. Get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Scoring touchdowns is the key to winning in the NFL playoffs. And the key to you scoring big is betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, super easy to do, 90 seconds, and use the code HERD, H-E-R-D. Here's another reason to watch your favorite players crush it in the playoffs. New customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. So score big during the NFL playoffs with DraftKings Sportsbook. You download the app, the DraftKings Sportsbook app, and the code is HERD, H-E-R-D. Again, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. The code is HERD, H-E-R-D, for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
You get the best of Memphis for lunch and dinner at Elwood Shack. Choose from house pastrami, corned beef, smoked turkey, roast beef, roast pork, beef brisket, and full shoulders, all made in-house. Elwood's fresh baked bread is delivered daily by in our bakery in Nova, and all Elwood's cakes and sweet treats come from Frost Bakery. Open daily for lunch and dinner at Elwood Shack on Summer in the Lowe's parking lot. And the newest Elwood's at 4045 in Boston. You are ready. Get the best of Memphis or anywhere else at Elwood Shack.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery instead of dependable service and no long-term contracts. An easy choice. Call Jeff Metis today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now 382-2363. That's 382-2363. Listen each and every Sunday morning at 11 to join Ottawa Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawa CPC Church. Downtown Memphis.
Now, back to Sports 56
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It's a little Thirsty Thursday in the house. I love Thursdays because that's the official start of my weekend. Yes, sir, Bob. And I'm pretty stoked because, today feels like a Los Cabos day. That's where the flavors of Mexico melt in my mouth. Right now, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily, lunch specials, $7 to $11. How you like that? Plus, they got happy hour daily 3 to 8. You know I love me a little Tito's up in that joint. Sometimes a little Don Julio action, little tequila shot. But Los Cabos, right there at Summer and Graham. Go check them out. That's where the flavors of Mexico melt in your mouth. Speaking of melting in your mouth, got a text from our buddy Darian Newsom, who's also the producer up here. He does my show majority of the time. Dacus now is just kind of cruising in every once in a while. Darian texted me and said they were the Goddesses. He called them the Goddesses. And
now, who are you talking about? Because that was a long time ago. Nobody knows what you're talking about.
I forgot my
now.
ADD is kicked in, and I didn't remind you. We talked about Bob Uecker at 90 years old, passed away today. Miller Lite commercials back in the 80s were so good. He was also in Major League with Charlie Sheen. Rest in peace, Bob Uecker. But I brought up Charlie Sheen, and I was like, man, I forgot he was Deuce Vaughn before he was 3.5 Men, and then before he went crazy, 2.5 Men, whatever. There's three little dudes. Oh, the little dude was the half.
Is the half.
Yeah. I just paid attention to how he used to bring in so many different hotties on a reg. But my point is, I figured out why Charlie Sheen was the way he was. And it's because of Baskin-Robbins. When you're a kid and you get to pick between 31 flavors and you can lick every single one of them throughout the year, what happens when you become an adult? You can't just have one. You want all 31 flavors. That's why he got with the Goddesses Jamie, Jeanette, and Krista. One blonde, one redhead, and one brunette. He said he didn't plan it that way, but he says life's good. So, yeah. Just a little bit of reminiscing on Charlie Sheen and how it's not our fault, ladies. It's Baskin-Robbins. Isaac Simpson's in the house. What's up, Isaac?
Man, what's going on, Johnny? I'm good. How are you?
Man, I'm blessed. I can't complain. Been enjoying a little college hoops, kind of getting caught up with all the things. And tonight we got another one for the Tigers. It's the American. I don't know how you say it's like a big one, but it is a road game against Temple. Everybody's Super Bowl. Right now, everybody's feeling good. They've held on. They didn't cover the spread on Saturday, but you know what? They got that dub. They've moved up to 18th in the country. What do you expect to see tonight, and how you feeling about your Tigers?
Man, as far as the remaining schedule, this is currently metrically the biggest game they have remaining. So it's a big game.
Damn,
there's
is
no
it really?
about that. What'd you say?
Are you being serious? It's the biggest?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, this is. I think UAB possibly can move into that category. They're right on the outside of being the game at Birmingham coming up in March could end up being a Q2, but as of right now, this is the only Q2 they have remaining on their schedule. Everything else is Q3 or Q4. So this is actually technically the biggest game that they have remaining on their schedule right now. So that kind of lets you know what's going on in America and why they got to get out of this conference. But yeah, man, it's a little scary, man. I mean, it's a tough situation they're in because they're in a situation, they're kind of in a no-win situation where when you win the game, they really do nothing for you. But if you were to lose one, it hurts you tremendously. So this is one tonight, man, where they gotta come out. I don't think this is one where they can come out to a slow start. We need to see more of what we saw at FAU tonight than we saw in those home games against North Texas, East Carolina. If they get down in this one early on the road, this one might be. I think Temple is good enough to kind of hold on and beat them if they kind of get behind double digits. So that's something that you don't want to see tonight. So I think they need to come out and have a fast start. The Temple team is solid. Really good three-point
Jamal Mashburn Jr. can stroke.
Yeah, man, he's averaging 21 points a game, 44% from three. And overall, they shoot 36% from three.
Did you say he's averaging 44% from the three-point line?
Yeah, and as a team, Temple actually shoots the three percentage-wise better than Memphis. They don't hit as many. They're shooting 36% as a team. Memphis is at 35%. Temple only hits about 7 per game. Memphis hits 10 per game. But guarding that perimeter is going to be really important tonight because all those guards, Jamal Mashburn Jr., Quante Berry, Zion Stafford off the bench, Shane Dezomi, all those guys can really knock it down from three. So that's something that Memphis tried to concentrate on. I think the inside with Dane Danger and Musa Cisse is where Memphis has their biggest advantage tonight. Temple is not a big team. Their center, Steve Settle, he's like 6'10", but he only weighs about 190 pounds. So he's going to be starting, and they don't really have a lot of size. Elijah Gray comes off the bench at 6'8", but that's pretty much their size right there. So I think this is a night where Dane Danger and Musa Cisse ought to be able to work tonight.
Them boys are going to eat tonight. Get a bunch of boards, clean things up, and, Danger will be attacking on the offensive end. And, man, I'll tell you one thing, Mashburn, you go to the rim, you might get blocked when my man Moose is in there. Who do you start on Jamal Mashburn Jr.?
I think it's going to be Tyrese Hunter. I think that's who you'll see on him because I think he's the better defender between him and P.J. Haggerty. So I think you'll probably see Tyrese Hunter on Jamal Mashburn Jr. But they're a different player than his dad, man. His dad was
he's only like 6'2" or something.
Yeah, he's a 6'2" guard, so he's a little bit different than his dad, man. But he can play, man. He's one of the better guards in the country. Like I said, averaging 21 points and really can shoot it, man. 44% from three. So I think it's gonna be some fun matchups with those guards, man. I think Memphis guards, they have a good trio of guards that can really play, and we know what Memphis has, the guard position. So I think they're going to be battling. But again, I think the inside is where Memphis really has an advantage in this game. And 8.5 point spread. One thing about Memphis, and Penny talked about this after the ECU game, is they got to start getting some separation, man, and blowing these teams out because it hurts you in the net when Memphis plays these lower tier teams and they don't cover the spread because it's already tough enough when you're playing. You got all these games where you're going to be playing these teams that's sub 200 in conference, and that hurts you anyway just by playing those teams. And then when you beat them by 3 or 4 points, it hurts you in the net. I hate the net, man. Memphis actually dropped 2 spots from yesterday from doing anything. It dropped from 35 to 37. So it's just tough, man, being in the AAC, man. I would love to see them sweep this conference. I mean, it's hard to win 19 in a row. I mean, going back to the Ole Miss win, they swept the conference. They would have won 19 in a row. But this team has the talent to do it. It's just hard to mentally get up for these teams night in and night out. If they could have the requisite focus every single night, they could sweep this conference, man. And I would love to see that because that really, what more statement can you make than go 18-0? Like, man, get us out of here. I think I would love to see that happen. It's tough, man, but I'm hoping they can do something crazy, man, pull it off, take one game at a time.
I will say, though, Memphis hadn't been on the hardwood this week, but they had a really good week. Missouri went on the road and beat Florida. You had, of course, Alabama get knocked off by Ole Miss. So, like Michigan State's
UNLV picked up a big win last night.
Like Michigan State's now, 12th in the country? So, I mean, they after beating, Michigan State, they look pretty tough since then, don't they?
Yeah, they did. I mean, that's definitely different than last year, man, because last year that non-con aged in dog years. This year is aging like a fine wine. So they're doing good there. As far as their resume, it looks like it's going to really hold up this year. Connecticut's still hanging in there. I mean, that's
only bad. They lost to
really,
Villanova.
Really nice
golly, when was that game? Not too long ago. That was so annoying. I was like, damn it, if you can't tell, I bet on that one in game.
Yeah, man, Florida did everything they could. Mizzou did everything they could to blow that game in Florida, man. They ended up pulling it out, man. But that was stressful watching that game, pulling from Mizzou at the end, man, because they tried their best to lose that game.
They did, but man, right now, Memphis, a very, very big game. That's why I have you on, Isaac, because I didn't realize this is the best opponent to the computers that we're going to play the rest of the season. So on the road, and again, I also just looked up my little man Jamal Mashburn Jr. He's shooting 55% from three at home. Like they're undefeated.
He's good, man.
So
he's a real. This is not just AAC. He's just putting up numbers. No, man, he's a real player, man. He's one of the best guards in the country. So that's definitely going to be a key of their defensive efforts tonight, man. You got to try to contain him, man, because he can go off for 30 if you don't get a handle on him. So he's a player, man. But I think Memphis has the defense to kind of contain him. I mean, but he's gonna score. I mean, you're not gonna completely shut him down, man. You just don't want any of the other guys to go off. I think that's kind of how you look at that.
So, big game tonight, 6 o'clock. Tigers are going right now. The boys out in Vegas have them an 8.5-point favorite. Again, they haven't been covering. Sounds like, Temple's going to be one of their best opponents. If they're up, though, can they run this joint? Like, would you lay it if you're going to play it, or are you going the other way?
I mean, that's the man. With Memphis, man, it's hard to lay those points because you just, for some reason, man, when you get in conference, Memphis is always going to get whatever the best effort these teams, whatever the best that they can play. That's what Memphis is going to see. I mean, it's like they say, it's a Super Bowl every night, every time. Even at home for Memphis, these teams come in and they're really gunning for Memphis. You'll see them like what we saw against ECU, and then they'll go play Rice or somebody that look like trash. Like it's crazy how these teams get up from Memphis. So it's kind of hard, man, on the road. I don't know if I'd lay the points. I think Memphis will win the game, but it's hard because it's crazy because you saw what they did against FAU, and then they come home with North Texas and ECU and kind of have close games. So you don't know, but 8.5, I hope they cover. I mean, there's a world where Memphis comes in and just overwhelms them like they should, but for some reason, these games always end up being close. So 8.5 seems a little bit big for me. I think it opened at 6.5 and it actually moved to 8.5. So the buddy coming in on Memphis, but we'll see. I don't know if I would lay the 8.5 though.
Man, we're just going to be rooting for a big dub tonight again, Temple. Now, last but not least, so Ryan Silverfield's recruiting his ass off, I hear.
Yeah, man. Number one transfer class right now, according to Rivals, man. They're number one in the nation, which is crazy when you think about the resources that a lot of these other schools have. NIL, man, for him to be able to pull that off and what he's doing, because I mean they go out and get SEC guys. I mean they really get some guys in the portal. The interesting thing I'm watching is going to be the quarterback situation. They bring in Brandon Lewis, who was a 2-year starter for Nevada. From Nevada, he's coming for his final year, thinking he's going to be a starter. But
they also
you have
brought in
AJ
Hill
and Antoine Hill, who looks amazing, and he's thinking he's coming in and going to start year one. So that's going to be something interesting to watch play out. I don't know how they're going to handle that because I'm really nervous that if Antoine Hill doesn't end up starting, that he might look to go elsewhere because he had all SEC offers outside of Memphis. It was Memphis, and I think Georgia, Arkansas, maybe Alabama, Auburn. So he had all SEC offers, so he could go anywhere and play. And again, man, I'm sure Brandon Lewis, he's not transferring across country from Nevada, 2-year starter coming here thinking he's going to be the backup. So that's going to be an interesting dynamic to watch play out through spring and camp and everything like that. So that's the one that I'm kind of looking at. But yeah, man, as far as overall, man, they've just cleaned up in the portal. And I understand, like a lot of people were asking the question, why would you bring in Brendan Lewis? I get it. It's a catch-22 in a tough situation. But if you're Ryan Silverfield, you're not in a position to where, okay, we're going to bring in a freshman quarterback and we're just going to have a 7-5, 8-4 season, kind of let him learn on the fly. They're trying to win 11 or 12 games next year. So you're taking a risk if you're going to start a true freshman in that situation. So you at least want to have that veteran guy in camp, but you also risking alienating him as well. So that's a line that they're going to kind of toe that line, man. We're going to see how that plays out. But I understand why they made that move.
Man, iron sharpens iron, baby. If you want to make that young man a little better, if you want to make your quarterback a little bit better than old. But I will say, remember, Ryan Silverfield wasn't afraid to start Seth Hennigan. He was a freshman. So
yeah. I mean, in the ideal world.
And everybody kind of has to do that. Like, I remember when Jackson Dart, was coming back from his first year starting, and they brought in Spencer Sanders, a 4-year starter at Oklahoma State. Like, I just think that's what, that's just the way the game's played these days.
Yeah, in an ideal world, I think Hill would sit behind him for a year, kind of learn and be ready that second year. I think that would be the ideal situation. But in this era, man, everybody thinks they're number one. They should be a starter, and kids have so many options these days with NIL and all this stuff. That's just kind of not how the game works anymore. So we'll see how it plays out. Hopefully, that's the way it works. I would love to see him sit behind a year and have the kind of the veteran in there for this 1 year and him come in and light the world on fire next year. Because he's super talented, man. If you've seen him, he's huge, the big guy, 6'3", 6'4", about 220.
Has a
solid.
He's not move.
Yeah, he can move. He's a dual threat quarterback, which is something we haven't seen a lot of here in Memphis. We've had mostly pocket quarterbacks, but he's a guy that's super athletic, can get outside the pocket and make some plays that way as well. So that would be super exciting to kind of bring a different dynamic that we haven't really seen with this team.
Well, Silverfield, I know his staff. I know they got them rental cars, and I know they took off all over the place from Mississippi, Florida, Georgia, Texas, Maryland, Michigan,
they
Iowa,
really get it done
all
over
over the damn country. They were after it, so I'm glad they got the number 1 transfer portal class. Go Tigers, go. We had to take a quick timeout because I got to switch gears. I got to talk Grizzlies with my man Isaac, so don't touch that dial. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I'm Sean Sewer with XMC Technologies, your local source for the best in office technology for over 30 years. We believe that being a technology partner means meeting our clients' needs as they change over time. That's why I'm happy to share that we are now Visual Edge IT. As cyber attacks continue to be a growing threat, our customers are asking for more cybersecurity and ransomware protection. For more information on how to protect your office, visit us at visualedgeit.com or call us locally 901-737-8910.
Progressive knows finding your new home is a dream come true. You wanted it close to town with a picture window overlooking a yard. And you found it. Now, when you sit down to dinner, you've got front row seats too. Your neighbor's daily pickleball game. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliate Deliver Insurance, not available in all states.
Sometimes you just need to leave fast like the fun that comes from a quick and nimble 2024 Honda CB500F. This amazing style stabilizer to narrow 471cc twin, along with a sleek TFT display, dual disc front brakes, and standard ABS. All made for price. Find phone all-wearing Lexus 2024 Honda CB500F. Available at December 56 Winter Road, Albury,
The only power source capable of generating 1.21 gigawatts of electricity is a bolt of lightning.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It's a little Thirsty Thursday action, and I'm thirsty for actually some great margaritas. Los Cabos right there at Summer and Graham. Fire food, by the way. Amazing margaritas. TVs everywhere at the bar. And from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily, $7 to $11 lunch specials. There's like a bunch of them. You know what I'm saying? You can go with like the chili poblano, Riano. You can go with the tacos and burrito, the enchilada. Man, rice, beans, all that fire. It's delicious. It's Los Cabos at Summer and Graham. That's where the flavors of Mexico melt in your mouth. And they also don't beat your pocket up. I love it. Isaac Simpson, man, it was crazy yesterday before the Grizzlies game, watching a bunch of BS as I do in the afternoon. And they were talking about who is more, like when the Spurs and the Grizzlies, who are you tuning in to watch, Ja or Victor? And I thought at first it was kind of a stupid question because I'm like, dude, I know Wemby's like damn 7 feet 25 and I don't know, what is he, like 7'5"?
Yeah, 7'5".
Like, I mean, dude, long, shoot, but he looked like if he turned sideways, I don't even see him on the court. But as Ja, he's a high flyer. He's a damn, he's an entertainer. So I thought it was kind of a dumb question. I was proving that I was right after seeing, I know it didn't count. But that dunk on Wemby was sick, bro. That's why you tune in to watch the Grizzlies.
Yeah, man, you were definitely proven right, man. John made you look like a prophet on that one, man. Hate it didn't count, but it still counts in my heart, man. That was, and Wemby even admitted after the game, John said that he was still defending, like he hadn't stopped because of the whistle. So that was a real dunk. I mean, that you can say it didn't count. whatever. It didn't count on the scoreboard, but that thing counted, man. That was insane. Because I mean, if you watch you see the photos of it. I don't even know how he finished that, because you see where the ball is and where Wendy's arms are. Like, it's crazy that he was able to get that up over him, man, at 7-5. But yeah, man, a tremendous, I guess, come from behind win for the Grizzlies last night, because didn't look good for a while, man, but they came together as a team in that fourth quarter. Jaren Jackson Jr. was struggling early in the game. He really came alive. I think 14 or 16 points in the fourth quarter, and made some tremendous defensive plays down the stretch. I mean, he was getting it done on both ends, man. Luke Kennard going crazy, knocking down threes, he was doing, it was a complete team effort. Desmond Bain, everybody kind of contributed in that fourth quarter, man. So that's what you like to see, man. 2 tough losses against the Houston Rockets. I mean, a team that you're kind of directly battling for kind of that 2-3 seed, man. It was disappointing to drop those 2, but I think the 2 that they did get, the one against Minnesota, and last night, I think 2 big victories to kind of stay afloat. You got the Spurs again on Friday, and then you turn around and play Minnesota again Monday for the Martin Luther King game. So if they can find a way to win both of those games, I think you kind of make up for the Houston thing a little bit. You lose the season series to the Rockets, but I think record-wise, I kind of looked at that 6-game stretch going back to that first Rockets game. If you could go 3-3 or 4-2, I think you felt pretty good about where you are, and they're 2-2 right now. So if they could win both of those games, I think going 4-2, you would have liked to get one of those Rocket games, but I mean, that's kind of spilled milk at this point. So you can find a way to go 4-2. I think you feel pretty good.
Yeah, I saw somebody last night put a slow motion on the X, like Ja when he jumped up and dunked over Wemby, and he had "I Believe I Can Fly" in the background, and I was like, damn, that's the first time I heard R. Kelly's song in a long damn time, man. Ja got the man going, got him grooving so bad he forgot R. Kelly was nasty.
Yeah, man. That pose, it looked like the Jordan logo. I mean, it was like that pose that he had going up for that dunk, man. It looks like the Jordan logo. So, yeah, man, Ja said he wasn't going to dunk anymore, but I think he kind of broke that last night, man, because he had a couple in that game. I think he realized, man, I'm the most exciting player in the league. I'm trying to make the All-Star game. Enough with the not dunking, man, because he had a couple last night. So hopefully we get that kind of job back, because I think before the last couple games, he just looked like he wasn't having any fun out there. He was kind of subdued. I loved the energy. You could see it from the beginning of the game last night that he just had a different energy that he's had of late, and hopefully we see more of that, because that's what we want to see, man. The fun job, not the subdued. Like, he just, I don't know if they said he was sick the game before. I don't know if it had something to do with that, but it just didn't seem like he had the energy and wasn't having fun out there. It was just good to see him having fun again, man. Just the passes that he was making, man, he's just so fun and so dynamic and just so dangerous with the basketball in his hands, man. It was just fun to see that on full display again last night.
It's really hard to, like, also, like, you know, like, be even in any way. Like, you know, right now at this point going into MLK Day, like, you're feeling really good because they are in third place. They're a game and a half ahead on the Nuggets. Nobody's going to catch the Rockets. And, again, that series against the Rockets, you feel bad about it. But, damn, they shot like 50% from the three-point line and were just making it rain, and you still only had a 2-point loss.
Yeah, I mean, they had a chance to win both of those games.
But that was a good loss, kind of.
Didn't go that way.
Like, is there such thing as a good loss? I mean, when a team is just making it rain and you stay within 2, I felt like it was at least a damn good effort.
Yeah. I mean, and they get one more shot at them. They play them, I think, on the 30th of this month at home. I mean, you can only go 3-1. That's the best you can do. But I think for ego's sake, I think you definitely want to go out there and get that one, man. You don't want to lose the season series 4-0. But again, like I said, man, this tough stretch, that was a crazy 6-game stretch ending Monday against the Timberwolves. Again, if you go 3-3, 4-2, I think even though you lost both of the Rockets games, I think you just have to kind of move on from that and take it. I think if they win both of these next 2 games, I think I'd feel really good about where they are.
They got the Spurs. When is that, tomorrow?
Tomorrow night, and then they got Minnesota on MLK Day, and then they got kind of an easier stretch where I think they got 4 or 5 in a row at home, I want to say. Let's see what they got.
That Minnesota game, man, I'll tell you one thing. Minnesota's going to want this one bad on MLK Day.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that would
remember the way that thing ended.
yeah, if they could beat them twice in kind of like a week's time, that would be. I think that would be really good because Minnesota's going to be definitely going to come in here. They're not going to want to go down 0-2 in that series. But after that, kind of lightens up a little bit. You got the Hornets, Pelicans, Jazz all at home. You at the Knicks, and you finish the month with the Rockets back at home. So they got some winnable games here, man. I think they could finish out this month really strong.
Isaac, what you working on, my man?
But definitely, man, coming down the pike, man. We Are Memphis podcast. Definitely going to be starting that here pretty soon. So be on the lookout for that. You can find me on Twitter at Isaac_NBA.
Isaac, be blessed. Thanks for your time. We'll do it again next Thursday, my friend.
Will do, man. Talk to you next week.
That's my buddy, Isaac Simpson, man. We got this story and coming up here in a little bit of Hardenwood, some bets, and Evie Van Pelt from the Rebel Walks on the other side. It's time to go hotty, toddy, gosh almighty, right here on Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Fall is football at the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland, Town Square. Monday through Friday, it's happy hour from 3 to 6. $1 off all draft meals, $5 off will drinks, $4.50 for house wine, and mozzarella sticks, queso, corn dogs, and more. Friday night lights from 7 to 11. Dining and mozzarella Wednesday, 5 Raiders, free on lunch box or every pro game. All at the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland. Highway 70, fall is football.
Classic style meets modern design in your new Volkswagen from Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike. Take your pick from 2025 Jetta Sport or 2024 Volkswagen Taos SE. Get yours for $249 a month. Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike says come get 2024 Tiguan S or 2025 Jetta SE, now $279 a month. Plus all 2024 Atlas SEL Peak Editions, $5,000 off MSRP. So get to Gossett Volkswagen today, 1875 Covington Pike, online, GossettVWMemphis.com. And remember, no reasonable offer will be refused. Gossett's where we're charging forward and charging less every day. If you want it, we got it at Gossett Volkswagen.
7,500 miles, Jetta Sport, SMO 45898, MSRP 25416, Taos SE, RMO 56983, MSRP 31939, Tiguan S, RM 144331, MSRP 31363, Jetta SE, SMO 10792, MSRP 28321, Atlas 3500 bonus customer cash, 1500 Gossett discount, excludes tax on the license, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695 with approved credit, well qualified buyer, offer valid through end of the month.
You know, I think people forget there's a Central Barbecue location in South Haven.
And that's on us.
Well, you.
What does that mean?
Well, you're the spokesperson for Central Barbecue. It's your responsibility to remind people there's a Central Barbecue in South Haven.
It's very convenient that I'm the spokesperson when there's responsibility to be taken.
Just mention the Central Barbecue location in South Haven.
I got a lot to remember. There's the location on Butler downtown. There's a location on Summer, on Poplar.
And Getwell Road in South Haven. How hard is that?
I've heard you call yourself a spokesperson for Central Barbecue.
No, it was just to pick up chicks.
Ken Garland, you are in your 72nd year of business. Your son William is now joining you. What do you think is the key to your longevity in the building business?
My dad started the business in 1965, and I think being on the job sites daily and being accessible to homeowners has been a key to our success.
You guys have a work ethic, as you like to say. You're not hiring people to be on the site. You guys are there every day.
We interact with the subcontractors multiple times a day on each job site. You know, I think that has been a key, as well as using the same subcontractors 20-plus years in most cases.
When you talk about materials, what is the first thing you're thinking about when somebody comes to you to build a home?
You know, we're just trying to meet the expectations of the client and the homeowner and the architect and give them what their dream is.
When you get a Ken Garland home, what do you guarantee?
We'll be there after the job is finished. We're still accessible to all our clients.
Now I need to know, how do I get a hold of Ken Garland?
You can reach us at kengarland.com.
56 WHBQ Memphis and W253DF Memphis with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10.
That was one of those things, when things get too heavy, just call me helium.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 at 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy, Johnny Radio. It's a little Thirsty Thursday. It's always brought to you by the best. That's Tito's Handmade Vodka. Evie's down in Texas because Texas is awesome. Tito Beverage is also down in Texas, first distillery in Texas, and he makes the finest juice around. It's the best vodka, period. It ain't no Russian vodka. This is USA. It's naturally gluten-free, made from corn, 6 times distilled before they still it in classic copper pots. Gives it a very unique flavor, slightly sweet with a black pepper note. It balances everything out. Doesn't matter if you're crafting a cocktail or drinking it neat. Whatever you do, make sure you get your Tito's on today, because this is the official start of the weekend. I like to gear up on Thursday and then try to coast on Sunday so I make it here on Monday. But we get to talk Ole Miss. And I got Evie Van Pelt, the founder, the publisher of the Rebel Walk. First and foremost, what's up, Evie?
Hey, well, I'm still excited about that big win the other day in Tuscaloosa.
Not only are you excited, but Memphis fans are really excited. They've been talking about it as well. And then they're excited also. Missouri went out and beat Florida. But I will tell you, though, the SEC on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, if you're not watching SEC basketball, what are you doing? Because it's
Are you even
crazy.
alive? Yeah. I mean, it really is. It really is. That was quite a win. I think the Rebel Walk and one other Ole Miss outlet were the only 2 outlets there that made the trip to Tuscaloosa, so we were pretty excited about that. Our own Donna Sprayberry was there and was, just thrilled to get to see it in person and get to listen to Coach Beard and Malik Dia after the game.
Boy, did Malik Dia have a game. I mean, goodness gracious. 19 rebounds, 2 blocks, and then 23 points?
I mean, he really, he is just, boy, when Mikal Brown-Jones got injured or got a concussion and we've seen more of Dia, I think we're going to keep seeing more of Dia, I would imagine.
I mean, now.
Yeah, fantastic.
He's doing everything that you could, possibly ask. In the last 3 games, I think he's averaging, 21 points?
Yeah, I believe so. I think you're right. And, man, it just, to me, it just seemed like, you talk about somebody taking over a game, and I have to tell you, I had a few moments in there where I just, almost couldn't even let myself imagine it. But part of that was imagine winning, but part of that was, and David makes fun of me for that because he felt like Ole Miss was going to win from the get-go. But, when you have not beaten a top 5 team on the road ever in the history of your program, 0-34, that was something to overcome there, wasn't it?
That's crazy to think about. 0-34, and then you get the road win against Alabama, who's 4th in the country. Huge game. But the thing that's wild also about this, they're making history with Chris Beard, but they can't celebrate too much because dadgummit, now you got the basically basketball egg bowl going down with Mississippi State and Ole Miss this weekend.
Yeah, you do. And, then you come back home and you faced A&M at home, and they've looked pretty good, and so I just, and then after that, Missouri, Texas, Auburn, now they do. Circle your calendar, February 1st in Oxford, when the Rebels will play Auburn. And, there's a lot that can happen between now and then, but of course right now those 2 are sitting atop the SEC undefeated, so that's going to be a good game. But, man, that was an exciting game. You were watching it when it happened, right?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Of course. I figured you were. But, just really shot in the arm, I think, for the program. Chris Beard, somebody has tweeted it, are there 2 better coaches out there right now in the SEC than Lane Kiffin and Chris Beard? And, and then somebody replied, well, say what you will, baseball's had a down couple of years, but he did get a natty, Mike. Yeah, there's somebody that you do have another coach over there who won a natty. So, absolutely.
Coach Yo's killing it.
Coach Yo's team has actually lost a couple of games that I think we were a little surprised. Yeah, it's funny. I don't really worry about Coach Yo because I think she will get it figured out. There ain't nobody that hates losing more than Coach Yo, and they lost to Alabama. They lost in Oxford. So it's tough in the SEC on the road, but you really kind of put yourselves behind the 8 ball if you lose at home. So they actually play Florida tonight at 8 o'clock in Oxford, and I bet she'll have those girls ready for that one.
You know, also, hopefully they take care of business at home and get it all done. But just thinking back about it to that Alabama game, it really was. I mean, I know I'm glad David thought they were going to win before the game started. I was hoping they were going to win when the game started. I didn't put my money where my mouth was by any means and bet on that one. But it wasn't until I think kind of late in the second half that I was like, oh, my God, they're going to do this.
Well, okay, what point in the second half? Because I was sitting there and we were up, with, maybe 9 minutes to go. And I'm still thinking, we can do this, but that 0-34 is hard to overcome. And you just can't discount the fact that Alabama, has the highest scoring average in the country, 91 points in SEC they average per game. So even with 9 minutes to go, I was thinking 9 minutes to go is a long time.
I think it was probably the Dia jam. It was only about 3 minutes probably left in the game. When I was like, the man ain't gonna let them lose today.
No, and
that was also right up there, a big three from Alabama.
Yes, yeah. I tell you, to me. They talked to Malik Dia about the game and just about defensively, and it was interesting. He said, we have been working on this defense since the summer. And he said, it's not an easy defense. And with Beard sitting right there next to him, he says, he coaches us really hard each and every day to get it right. Even the smallest mistakes, we always restart and do it over in practice. So just repping. And he said, they knew they had to limit their possessions and get rebounds. But again, against that rebounding team of Alabama, that was easier said than done. But it was funny. He said, we tried to keep them off the offensive glass, which I think we probably did. I think they got 4 offensive rebounds.
Yeah, I think
unheard of. Yeah, just unbelievable. 4 offensive rebounds for Alabama. So.
And Alabama, by the way, the interesting thing is they went to the free throw line 10 times more than Ole Miss. Neither team shot the ball very well from 3. And again, it just kind of comes back to at the end of that game, it was like. By the way, Mark Sears couldn't get off at all.
No.
That defense is ridiculous. They held pretty much everybody down on the Crimson Tide. I don't think anybody in the starting lineup scored in double figures.
No, you're right. And I tell you what, I think something that wasn't lost on me, just because, again, I've had years and years and years of watching these games, and at the end, they're fouling, and, you don't make those free throws, and it could have gotten ugly. And our man, Jamin Brakefield, was 7 for 7 from the free throw line. I mean, how huge was that? I just felt like that was really, really, really big.
That is big. And again, they got Mississippi State coming up. What do you think they have to do to get a win? Where I feel like this Mississippi State team, you're about to see a desperate, very angry. I kind of have a feeling like Mississippi State's going to try and bring it after losing to Kentucky and Auburn. They fell off a little bit, you could say.
Yeah, I think so too. And it's in Starkville, so they're going to get a little edge from that. That place can get crazy. I don't know. I mean, I really almost feel like the Rebels. I mean, it sounds cliche, but I feel like they just have to kind of play their own game. Keep that defense. I mean, that was a lockdown defense we saw. That was a Chris Beard defense we saw against Alabama. And I think if they can play like that and play with that intensity, I think that they're, that'll bode well. But yeah, definitely, I think they're going to be facing a Mississippi State team that, obviously is going to be out to try and turn some things around there.
All right, now we've been talking a ton of Ole Miss basketball right now. I do need to go switch gears real quick. I saw that you dropped an article. I haven't had an opportunity to read it, but it says Terrence Metcalf's going to be elected to the College Football Hall of Fame class of 2025.
Yes, and I tell you what, there's just not a nicer guy, more deserving, obviously, on the football field. He's fantastic. He has been elected as a member of the induction class of 2025 for the College Football Hall of Fame. He was, for those who just were trying to recall the years, it was 97 to 2001 that he was there. He's one of 3 offensive linemen in the class of 2025. He's the lone tackle in the group. And he is now the 10th Rebel player to be inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame throughout history. So how cool is that? I tell you what, he does a lot of, besides being the daddy of a pretty good football player, he has done a lot of philanthropic work that I think goes, maybe not unnoticed, but a lot of people don't know about just because he isn't out there touting it. So just a super, super person. Glad to see that for Terrence.
That is awesome. Terrence Metcalf, man, that's straight up amazing. One thing that's not great, I saw that you, what's up with Suntarine Perkins?
Well, he was seen after the bowl game with a sling on his arm. And folks were kind of wondering, hey, what's up with that? And apparently he had surgery. I don't know exactly the extent of it, but he had labrum surgery, his shoulder.
Tore his labrum?
Yeah. So I don't know exactly the extent of it, but, if you have labral tear surgery, you have labral tear surgery. And from what I spoke with a orthopedic surgeon. Actually, Luke Altmaier's dad, a former quarterback at Ole Miss, is an orthopedic surgeon, and asked him, hey, what are we looking at? I mean, he's not Suntarian's doctor,
but it's a long recovery.
Yes. He said,
I know.
Typical. Typically, now it may be if you're a 20-year-old, 20-year-old healthy with, all the rehab procedures and protocols there at your fingertips, maybe it's a little different. But he said usually around 4 months. So if that were the case, I guess before you start, getting back into things, but if that were the case, then he would obviously be missing spring football. And but on the other hand, if you got to have something, this was the time to have it.
The last game of the year.
Yeah, last game of the year. So, we're definitely kind of, going to keep our ears open for if we hear any more on the timetable. But, what a fantastic season he had. And I still don't understand how he plays. He's an edge in the SEC, at his side. I mean, that just ought to tell people how incredibly talented he is.
Dadgum gifted athlete. And he was a pup when he got started getting in there. Remember when he came up his freshman year and dang, this guy's going to be really, really good.
Really special, former 5-star recruit. And, he played in 13 games this year, started 8 of them.
Third team All-SEC defense, right?
Yes. Yeah. All-America honorable mention. He was SEC player. He got SEC weekly honors several times throughout the season. And you think about the players that Ole Miss had on that defensive line this year. So how fantastic must Suntarian be that he played so much, with guys, that are likely all going to be going into the NFL here pretty quick. But I think he was had 60 tackles on the season. 32 of those were solo. A couple of fumble recoveries and interception. 9 quarterback hurries. He just was a significant part of that defensive unit. And I was just checking some numbers, and they ended up being the best rushing yard per carry average defense in the nation. Number 1, giving up just 2.2 9 yards a rush and 80.5 yards a game rushing. So,
man.
and our man had 10.5 sacks on the season, and 14 tackles for loss. In both those categories, Ole Miss had school records. The defense had 52 sacks this season, school record, 120 tackles for loss on the season, also school record. So we witnessed greatness.
Yes, we did. And speaking of greatness, Jackson Dart taking his talents to the National Football League. Where do what are the whispers that you're hearing around Dart? Is he excited about the National Football League? Where does he expect to go?
Yeah, I tell you what, this is interesting. Jackson, really, there were folks who, well, you may have, David and I were talking about this the other day. You had one player, Cam Ward, hate to call him out there, who, like David said, he wouldn't go back in the game, and you had Dart playing in the Gator Bowl, and you couldn't get him out of the game. Yeah, and interestingly, Dart really helped himself in the kind of the draft board. I mean, he shot up the draft board, and there are a lot of folks thinking he moved ahead of some other quarterbacks out there that, we could see him taking, top 3 quarterbacks.
I'd take him over Quinn and Milroe, and heck,
Amen.
This is, there's a bunch of guys out there. I mean, the guy's all he does is eat, drink, sleep football. He's not down in the square chasing everything around. He's not, he's one of those guys, which you kind of want. He's a leader of men. A little bit quirky, but he doesn't go out. He's all about business. He's all about ball. Reminds me of Bo Nix when he came out of Oregon. Totally different style of player. But Bo Nix, I heard a great story. Sean Payton said he knew he wanted Bo Nix the first time he met him because he walked into the office. They were meeting each other, and he walked in and he had a backpack. And he goes, "What's in your backpack?" And he's like, "Excuse me?" He's like, "Open up your backpack." And I'd been like, "Damn, man, you don't want to see what's in my backpack."
Yeah, no.
Well, he opened up his backpack and he had a machine, like a tennis balls, to roll out, like the soreness in your muscles. He had an extra pair of cleats. He had his playbook. He had tape. I mean, it was all football stuff. There was nothing in his backpack except football.
Nothing incriminating.
Yeah, nothing incriminating. But the dude's
That's
just,
funny.
he's just a hard worker who, he's going to come into the league already mature, and I'm sure he's learned a hell of a lot from Lane Kiffin. But
I think I absolutely agree with you, and I think that people saw a lot. I mean, again, we've talked about this before too. In the era of people opting out or deciding to just take the half off, as Cam Ward did. I mean, again, I'm not trying to hate on Cam Ward at all. I think he's a fantastic player. But what bothered me was, he didn't go back in after his team fell behind. And after covering Jackson Dart for 3 years, I can promise you there is no world he wouldn't have gone back in that game if it meant his team losing. I mean, he just said, how after the game, it was cute. You and I may have talked about this, but I just thought it was so sweet. He said, when you're a little boy and you're growing up and you're out there and you're playing football in the backyard with your friends and it's so fun, these are the days you dream of. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. You dream of being able to play, in a game like this with your brothers. And he said, nobody dreams of, and I'm going to sit out after halftime. I mean, that's just not your dream there. So anyway, I had seen where I think Mel Kiper he moved Dart all the way up to number 3 on his board. So he had Sanders, Ward, and then Dart. So I think Dart really, that one throw he had to Jordan Watkins where he's on the run, and I mean that fantastic throw. I think that opened a lot of people's eyes. And one thing, I think we saw him running more and more with authority. And, Kiffin addressed that also when he said you saw a healthy Jackson Dart, without so much of the ankle injury situation that he had.
Yeah, and people also like I guess if you're not a big Ole Miss fan and hadn't paid attention, I mean the dude went out there and had basically I think 4,300 yards, 30 touchdowns, 6 picks or something to that effect. I know he was very, very low on the turnovers, very high on the touchdowns, tons of yardage, and he's thick. Like you look at him and you can hit him.
David said he reminds him of a Lamar Jackson. And I mean, David, for people who don't know, David was a quarterback at A&M back in the 70s. And man, I got to tell you, nobody I trust more on quarterback analysis than David Walker. And that was a pretty big compliment there.
He can use his legs, and he also keeps his eyes down the field. He completed 70% of his passes this season and pushed the ball. I mean, he averaged 10.8 yards per throw. So Jackson Dart's going to be interesting to watch and see what happens to him going forward. One other thing I have to ask you before I do let you go: what's the news on what's up with baseball, man? How are people? Are people a little bit nervous? Is Mike under a little pressure?
Well, I tell you what, I think obviously this is a pivotal year. I would think, after having a couple of seasons there that were less than what everybody anticipated, not making the SEC tournament. Of course, this year I guess everybody makes the SEC tournament. But what a lot of people have talked about is the new
their best player leaving in the transfer portal. That's what I hear. Like, so I have a few friends that are Ole Miss baseball junkies, and they still they just can't let it go.
Really?
Yes.
Really? I mean, it's tough, and who knows exactly what's going on there. I will tell you that I have submitted my credential request for the opening tournament that they play, the Shriners Children's College Showdown in Arlington, and that's going to be February 14th through 16th.
So you'll be here? No, Arlington,
actually,
Texas.
No, this is in Arlington, and it's going to be Arizona, Clemson, Louisville, Oklahoma State, Ole Miss, and Texas. So, and Ole Miss does play Texas, and I'm really interested to see Ole Miss go up against Texas and wonder if Grayson Saunier will be on the mound, former Ole Miss pitcher who is now at Texas. So that's going to be something to
think Grayson will pitch against his old team?
I would not be at all surprised. I just would not be surprised. I did see that for folks who hadn't kept up with it so much, the Ole Miss freshman class has been named the number 4 impact class in the country, according to D1 Baseball. So, that's something to look for. I mean, it's just going to be interesting to see how they bounce back. It's going to look a little different, except I tell you one thing that will be the same, hopefully, from a few years ago, is Hunter Elliott is back on the mound, and from everything that we've heard thus far has looked really good. So that's going to be interesting.
Stay healthy, baby. That's all we need right now. Go out there and
That's
take
right.
care of business. Evie, thank you so much for your time. She's the founder. She's the publisher of the Rebel Walk. That's your number one source for all things Ole Miss sports information. Follow her on Twitter at Ole Miss Evie. Follow them at The Rebel Walk. And always, when you're sitting at your phone, you're sitting at your computer, just go to therebelwalk.com, and you have so many platforms. Y'all are on YouTube. Y'all are dropping everything. Where is all the places we can find you?
Well, you can find us on Twitter at The Rebel Walk. You can head over to therebelwalk.com. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We're going to have tomorrow an interview with an NFL draft analyst about the Rebels who will be looking to be selected in the upcoming draft. We just had an interview with Jalen Braxton, an Arkansas cornerback transfer. So don't sleep on the YouTube channel. We got some stuff over there. But thank you as always for having me. It's such a privilege to get to be here.
Thank you. And Evie, do me a solid and ask them what they think about Reese McIntyre at center.
I'll do it.
Thank you.
I'll do it.
Be
Okay,
blessed.
hotty-totty.
Hotty-totty. That's Evie Van Pelt. I'm late for a break. We're back in 2 shakes. I got the historian, Jay Ham. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56 sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director of Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 912-715-5199.
Welcome to Staples.
I am so pumped. My business is going to kill it this year.
Awesome. How can I help?
First, a new computer.
With Staples Home and Office Hot Deals, you save big on tech.
And new posters.
Save on custom printing, too.
And,
a new chair?
A chair? Who has time to sit?
Maybe all your new clients?
Now you're talking.
With Staples Home and Office Hot Deals, you'll find huge savings on custom prints, storage, chairs, and tech. And now save up to $175 off your print order. Exclusion supply. Visit staples.com/red for details. Ends 2/1.
The Family Leisure floor model sales happening right now through the end of January. Family Leisure has got to get rid of all the 2024 inventory because all the new 2025 items are starting to arrive. All floor models are up to 50% off. You want a cold plunge tub? They start at $49.99. Go the other route with a hot tub. Get $3,000 off with free steps and chemicals. Family Leisure has pool tables, arcades, ping pong, air hockey, even baseball tables from 20 to 60% off. Want piercing? Family Leisure has theater seating up to 75% off. Plus, now's the time to start thinking about pool seats. You can buy it and get on the installation schedule and be ready before everyone else. Special financing is also available. And if you want to get free delivery on any of these items, you just tell the phone staff at Family Leisure that you are this commercial. It's the floor model sale now through the end of January. Family Leisure in Road I-40. Family and fun come together.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about everything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys, beyond the bottle, Tito's has gained a reputation for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits around the world to serve its community and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's and learn more at Tito'sVodka.com. 40% alcohol by volume, mainly 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
But you gotta be willing to take the hit and not point the finger saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It is a thirsty Thursday. It is a great, beautiful day in the Mid-South. Sad for some people, like Bob Uecker died, man. Dude was amazing in Major League. He was on The Tonight Show. He was on a TV show that I can remember like a long time ago. I can't remember the name. Mr. Belvedere. Damn it, thank you.
Yeah.
So I got this story, and I saw him over there, man. I looked at him, and I'm like, man, I know this.
You know what? That was actually my introduction to Bob Uecker.
Really?
Mr. Belvedere.
My favorite memory of Bob Uecker is not, I love Major League. It's Major League with Charlie Sheen.
Mm-hmm.
And Jabu, remember him?
Best part about Major League, too, is right before they got
Willie Mays Hayes.
Right before they got on their win streak. You remember when Bob Uecker was in the booth and the season
drinking?
He started out with water
in
April. By the time they got to like June, July, he was on Jack and Coke.
That's right. Straight up getting sauced because that team was terrible, and then they got awesome.
Then he passed out of the booth. He left Monty to do the commentary all by himself. Monty didn't know what to do with it. Then he woke up and the whole team was in a fight. So shit. But my favorite Uecker moment, WrestleMania 4.
What?
With Andre the Giant.
I didn't even know he did WrestleMania. I don't even remember.
See, my dad did 2 WrestleManias.
So I saw WrestleMania 1. We had to pay for it. the pay-per-view
That was
thing.
like 40 years ago, John.
WrestleMania 2 is happening. I'm so excited. I'm telling my
39
pops.
years ago.
I'm like, Dad, we got to get the pay-per-view. He's like, I ain't paying for this. And then he looks at me and goes, and don't you know wrestling's fake? And I was like, no. It's like worse than finding out.
You're in Memphis, Jimmy Hart can come by your house at any time and show you that it's not fake.
Dude, I hear what you're saying, but when your dad tells you it's fake, it's not like football, da-da-da-da.
I mean, my dad told me it was fake, too, but we watched.
Okay. He says they know who's going to win before the match, and I'm like, no, because I really thought, like, Hulk Hogan was the greatest thing since sliced bread. I was eating my little vitamins.
And as me and Dustin Starr showed you last week, that nobody likes Hulk Hogan anymore.
Yeah, I know. I found that out, too. Hey, man, life's peaks and valleys, man. Up and down, up and down. Loved one moment, despise the next, then you'll be loved again.
I have to show you the Andre the Giant clip because he actually put those big paws around Euchre's neck and choked him for a second.
Damn, man, I didn't know he did that. Bob Uecker, though, one of my memories, that my favorite is the first thing when I thought about it wasn't like he was, 54 years in the booth with the Brewers, 2 years also with the Braves, was a 200 career
Lifetime
hitter in Major
200
League.
hitter, right.
But he caught Sandy Koufax. He caught Gaylord Perry.
He caught Bob Gibson.
Bob Gibson. He also got a Super Bowl, a World Series ring with the Cardinals. Right. He had a very storied pimp baseball
he had
career.
A wild 6 years.
Dude, and plus he got drafted by the Milwaukee Braves.
That's old school.
That's old school. So, there are a lot of great things, but the Miller Lite commercials from the 80s.
Classic.
And I hate to say this, I wanted to drink Miller Lite because of Bob Uecker, but I found out I really don't like it.
Bob Uecker and the Fat Boys. I remember the Fat Boys had one around the same time.
I love the Fat Boys, bro. Fat Boys. By the way, there wasn't no Ozempic back then, man. So them boys were fat forever.
You could troll the Fat Boys, and they just gonna make a hit record out of what you troll.
Dude, no kidding.
That's how cool they were.
Fat Boys, man, Run DMC.
Yeah, same family.
But back to Bob Uecker. I wanted to play this because this is a Miller Lite commercial. I'm giving you a plug even though I don't like your beer. This is got Rodney Dangerfield. These commercials are old school. You won't get to see the bad boy. But Dacus, man, will you fire this John up?
It started out as a party, but turned into a case of the missing case.
Groovy shindig.
What's with our lights?
Oh, Mickey!
It's okay, doll.
Oh, it's not. There's a case of Miller Lite missing.
Oh, who took it? Somebody in this room.
Rodney!
Hey, guys, take it easy, will you?
Why'd you do it, Rodney? 'Cause light tastes great?
Yeah! 'Cause light's less filthy.
Yeah!
I didn't do it. Well, I'm not even Rodney.
You! I thought it was a costume party. Great mask, huh?
But if he didn't do it, who did?
You'll never figure out who took that case.
Oh, Mickey, you did!
Not exactly. Hiya, doll.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm glad we didn't go dancing.
It's no mystery that there's only one light here.
It's a good thing Dangerfield didn't do the horizontal mambo with the young lady because that's the first tea I think we ever had in a commercial.
I have a point.
Or cross-dresser.
I think you got a point there.
Or the first that you would know of that was on television that was trying to fool somebody.
Well, Tom Hanks and Peter Scolari did it for years on Bosom Buddies.
Oh, my God, I forgot about that. But they were trying to make ends meet.
They didn't true, and then their apartment only allowed women, so
Yeah.
they had to find something.
Yeah, it was cheaper. Bosom Buddies.
That show was out even before I
Man,
was
White
alive.
Chicks.
Classic movie.
By the way, Minnesota Vikings had the best touchdown celebration this year when they completely did the entire White
I remember
Chicks dance. That was straight up awesome. By the way, you know what else is awesome, man? Do you like your property to look good and kind of feel safer and safe? And do you like things to work? Do you want to bring aesthetic appeal and security to your crib? Do me a favor, go to myautomaticgates.com. I did it. It's been almost 2 years now or something. I called them up, reached out to them. They came out. It was so fast, by the way. I almost wasn't expecting it to be like this. Me and Chaz talked about it. Went online, bing, bang, boom, reached out. They called me, set up an appointment, came out to my crib. And, of course, I don't know how to build a gate. I don't know exactly what I wanted. I just know I wanted to push a button. It opened and closed. My dogs are like in the backyard where they ain't going to run around. I wanted it to look more secure because, you know, I live in Memphis, Maine. I don't live out east. Memphis, Maine. But I wanted my gate, and I wanted it to look good. They came out there the next day, meet me at like 9 a.m. I'm like, all right, cool. They're like, all right, sir, you know, da-da-da-da. Dude makes the little drawing, tells me all the specs, gives me all the stuff, gives me the price when I get off work. Tell him, go, do it, let's do this. The next day, they come out as I'm leaving to work. By the time I got home, my clicker was ready, my automatic gate was up, my house was secure, and damn it looked good. Go to myautomaticgates.com and get your automatic gate. Let's go to Hardinwood.
This is Access Hardinwood.
Speaking of teas, shocker. Since Bob Uecker passed away and I thought of the Miller Lite commercial on the first tea that's ever been on television, I went out and searching for a story, and it was about a tea, and I found it. Very simple. Did you hear about the high school basketball team? Shocker, this is in California. Dude, and he's a dude, decided he's not a dude no more, and he's now playing girls basketball. Now, he was a dude playing dudes basketball. And they had a basketball game on Monday night. Lil homie outscored the entire other team. Yup. 59-29, and he scored 33. Dude was hooping. He's also like 6 inches taller than every single woman on the court. Dude is blocking shots like he's Lou Alcindor.
It's travesty, man.
That's insanity to me. And, like, let me just tell you something. My little girl's getting swatted and blocked on and dunked on. I'm going to be not a happy man.
I'm checking in.
Dude, where's Cheryl Swoops to kick this guy's ass?
I mean, if you got to play against Joanna Man, you might as well.
Joanna Man, damn, dude, I forgot about that. Another great cross-dressing movie.
I don't know if it was great, but...
I mean, it's funny.
It was a movie.
Hey, it killed me a little bit of time. Hey, look, it was better than The Notebook.
That's fair.
Like, dude, you know you're punished. You know the relationship's trying to go to another level when your girlfriend wants to watch The Notebook. You're like, damn it, man, she's
Cried
taking
my
it
eyes
here.
out.
Did you really?
Oh, man, such a sad movie.
Are you joking?
No, I'm not joking.
Oh, I believe him.
Emotional.
He said it with too much conviction.
I figured it out way quicker.
I just wanted to get it out there.
I'm like, dude.
Thought you'd support me, John.
He's reading to his wife. He's telling him about their love story. Oh, and then she woke up for 30 seconds and remembered it was her husband. Listen, that is some sweet stuff. God, this is going to sound terrible. But it does give you an out if I hate to say it. Like, you know what I mean by that? Like,
I wasn't going to go there.
I'm just saying you got an out because they can't even remember who you were. So you just, like, put them in a facility, take good care of them, and then, damn it, you know what I'm saying?
This is fair.
No, actually, you don't do that, damn it. I was checking you, man.
Hey, man, I'm a heel.
Love is the most important thing in the world. It makes the world go round.
Hey, man, I'm a heel and a player.
Better take care of you. Take care of them peeps. All right, so we had almost an altercation. Florida State, their basketball team wants to fight harder than their football team is, and they wanted to beat up Jeff Capel, or Jeff Capel wanted to beat up them.
Other way around.
Well, Capel was ready to go out, but hey, Florida State wasn't backing down, but they did kind of actually back down and went back into they were backpedaling.
Time out. What, ain't they trying to sue Leonard Hamilton already?
Oh, yeah, man.
Right.
$4.5 million.
Florida State up.
Yeah.
Well, Florida State ran a play after dominating the game on Pittsburgh, and with like 5 seconds,
they dunked it.
At the very end.
Yeah.
And let me just tell you something. Capel took exception. Let me just tell you something, Jeff. No. Don't put your hands on an opposing team's player, and don't talk to another coach's kids, especially after a loss and when they dunked on your face. Remember, Jeff.
Get your guys, Jeff.
These games are televised. It's on the X. It's on the Twitter. No, that's the same damn thing.
I think that's just a little...
Oh, my gosh. Is the X cross-dressing as Twitter?
No.
Yeah, I would say so.
It may be, actually, now that I think about it. It might be.
I would say so.
I think it went from a transition of a woman into a man, though, because Twitter was kind of tweet. That's kind of like a little femme.
You know,
I want Twitter back. Just getting that out
I
there.
agree with Dacus, but I see what you're saying. I want Twitter back, but I agree
Why do you
with
want Twitter back? We have Twitter. It's still called X, dude.
It was better when it was Twitter.
better.
No, it wasn't.
And I don't even like Twitter.
I'm more
I
involved
can't
with it
stand
now.
X.
Of course you are, John. I mean,
I don't know if you know this. The algorithms on my Twitter are bumping, man. It's
Yeah.
sports
and naked
hot
women.
broads.
I mean, that's
what
yeah.
mine is. That and a little wrestling involved. But
Right.
other than that, in which the hot women come with the wrestling now.
Right.
And there's some funny content on there too.
Yeah, I mean, that's still a lot of videos.
But what do you think about cable going nuts, man? Is this crazy? Is this a real bad look? Is this going to be something, or is it because it's Pittsburgh and Florida State? It's like a tree that falls in the woods with nobody around to hear it. Does it really make a sound?
That and then Jeff Peralta just got a little frustration. I mean, he coaches in Pittsburgh for crying out.
I know.
And then he got his little brother Jason right next to him. They were ready to whoop somebody. But then, just a week ago, they had a player who punched the kid at Duke in the lower region.
Don't be hitting nobody in the junk, bro.
He hit Tyrese Proctor in the lower
That
region.
is not cool, by the way.
And Duke was up like 30 at the time with his
That makes
absence,
me
so-
wonder if you're like Dwight Howard.
Well, yeah. Or Chris Paul.
What?
You remember Chris Paul hit Julius Hodge in the ACC?
Oh, no, I thought you were saying he was like Dwight Howard on the...
No. The low blow shot, the Ric Flair shot.
I forgot about that one, and I don't remember it still.
That was actually 20 years ago, 2005 ACC tournament. Chris Paul with the low blow on Julius Hodge. He had to get suspended. I think he missed the first NCAA tournament game because of that.
Wow. Well, you're a historian. Help me out. Did you hear about... Now, LeBron says he has nothing to do with this. Let me clarify that. Now, he says that. I don't know if you know, half the time when LeBron's talking, he's lying. He's full of it. I'm always on
The man
his
said
ass.
he'll take Julius Randle over LeBron.
Damn right I will right now. Yep, give it to me all day, every day. Now, the reason I say LeBron's not a part of it, which I kind of disagree, you know who Maverick Carter is, right?
Yeah.
In that, LeBron's basically front man. Like, he's the dude who kind of like, he's the
Well, he says
businessman
his
for
front. I says
LeBron
his- I
James's
says his right
business.
hand.
It's his right hand.
says his
And
right
that's the one, if he's right-handed, that he uses on his most intimate afternoons by himself. I know, like, trust me, I broke my right arm and my lefty. I couldn't figure it out for weeks. So if he's his right hand, they're close.
It's fair.
That's very fair. I mean, if you're saying his right hand, you could say he's his left hand. That's why I always would say left hand.
What'd he do?
Well, he's now trying to raise $5 billion.
He got that on Cash Out. What he
Probably, but listen, he's leading an effort to raise $5 billion with investors and backing from different firms, and it's for this proposed league to operate outside of North America, but while bringing in all players from the world, like professionals, NBA, Euro, all this.
It's gonna happen right now.
Play over
Part
like
of
in
it.
Singapore.
Right.
And basically, they want to make it the second best league in the entire world. And then he said almost as good as the NBA.
It's time for that, to be honest. My
What
personal
time? What time?
opinion.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know if you know this. Like, the NBA takes from everywhere. So if you have somebody taken away from the NBA, you're going to water down the league. And by the way, the league's about to get watered down because have you heard about them wanting to expand to 32 and they're at 30? You ain't the NFL. Nobody even watches your ass.
Well, see, here's the thing. That's
But they
an
do need something in Seattle.
American issue that nobody watches. Basketball is played all over the globe.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Just kidding, dude. I know basketball. They even play soccer all over the world.
mean, and
They
it's-
just, the rest of the world doesn't have the cojones to play real American football because they're soft and they're weak.
Try to tell that to the rugby dude.
Hey, man, I don't even talk about rugby. That's all like on an 18-hour flight or something in Australia, Holmes. On the other side of the world, bro. I can't
Cricket.
concern.
Even the cricket
Dude, that
guys,
game
right.
takes days.
Even when the NFL likes to go to Germany and London, and they go for the spectacle, but they don't care about what's going on the field. Let's be honest about it. Somebody posted a tweet, and I like this tweet. They should adopt this. It would be fun. If you play over in Germany or London in the NFL, if you lose, you should have to stay over there and win your way back to America. You can't come back to America till you win over there. We'll just send you an opponent, and we'll just keep going like that. Now, that would make it interesting. That would make it worthwhile to get up at 8 a.m. to watch. Other than that, I don't want to see the Jaguars and whoever else at 8 a.m. in another country. Get real. But that secondary league that LeBron is talking about cooking up, I think is needed. Because you don't
I'm
watch
glad
out
you're the
Euroleague.
historian because I also said that Ice Cube 3. Like, I should never.
Big three.
Never
Oh, man.
question the Cube, okay?
I love the Big Three.
Ever since he was dead, gone tearing it up out on the West Coast.
You know what else starts
21
tomorrow?
Jump Street.
The women's.
No.
The women's 3-on-3
That's
league
tonight,
start-
though, isn't it?
tonight or
Thursday night. I
tomorrow?
think it's tonight.
Yeah,
There's
it's
two
actually on
games.
TNT.
Yeah. Well, maybe not tonight. Maybe I'm
No,
wrong.
it's tomorrow. It's
I think it's
tomorrow
tomorrow.
night.
Yeah, because tonight the NBA's on
right,
TNT.
NBA's
So
on
tomorrow
night.
night.
So they got January 17th, and they got a good league, man. There's some good hoopers in that league.
Yeah, I was
too.
just about to ask
For
you
the
about that.
hoopers, unlike you, John, you don't care.
I do too. I love Memphis basketball. I love
You
Ole
don't
Miss
like the
football.
women.
and
If
I like
John
the
can
Grizzlies.
bet on it,
and
he'll
I was
like it.
getting
That's the
ready to
thing.
say, I don't know if you know, I'm watching SEC every Tuesday, Wednesday. I won all 3 bets last night. Let's go,
If
Iowa
they
State.
put unrivaled bets on
He's all over it.
He's gonna
All
be
over it.
down.
I bet they do.
Hey,
I bet they
NBA
will.
playoffs, though, I get so juiced for that. You have no idea. It's just the regular season of the NBA. When the playoffs come around and they actually go to play, there's nothing like the NBA when it's playoff basketball. I mean, hell, the damn Knicks last year, I fell in love. Damn, Josh Hart, by the way, I really like him. That dude just like
You
I think-
can, in fact, bet on Unrivaled.
Yeah.
What is it? What I can bet? I can bet what?
You can bet on this new women's basketball league.
They
What-
put
no,
on
no, no.
TNT. That's the women's 3-on-3
You just
league.
that just went completely over your head like 2 minutes ago
Oh
when we were
God,
talking
yes,
about it.
dude. Because
Wow.
I was totally
Wow, okay.
like, you know what? You were speaking, and I looked at my ex because I thought it would be good, and there was the baddies. It's
Right,
a little.
yeah.
It's like a follow on the
Yeah.
X pops up, and it's like they're bouncing, and I can't help myself.
Yeah, that's a problem on X is all of the bots that just post.
Dude, by the way, I found
Naked
out, like I
women.
said, it's a problem. All right. Things that don't hurt my life. Now they might like give me a little. Never mind. I didn't realize it is 10:52. I am so late for a break. I'm going to put this one back in the holster. I'll bring it out tomorrow for little bit of wood. So do me a favor, don't touch the dial. Me and the historian have to tell you who to bet on the other side. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Join us celebrating 26 years of Napa Cafe. Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I'm inviting you over for dinner. Treat yourself tonight with a delightful dinner of scrumptious combinations, fresh salads, homemade soups, or maybe start with an appetizer, like our baked Dungeness crab dip with manchego cheese, lemon, garlic, and French baguette toast. Drift into one of our fresh seafood dishes, like the caramelized sea scallops with curry beurre blanc, black forbidden rice, and Thai mango salad. Or our ancho honey glazed salmon with creamy black bean puree, avocado pico de gallo, and jalapeno crema. Maybe you're looking for something cozy and comforting, like our Duroc pork chop with apple brandy demi-glaze and blue cheese bacon mashed potatoes. We have something for everyone. Napa Cafe, open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. For reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. Come join us as we celebrate 26 years of Napa Cafe. I'd sure love to see you.
All 650 acquisition fee, 20,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, EV6, 36-month lease, RU 621,425, 36-month lease, MSRP 55,820, K4 SEO 64,461, MSRP 24,715, Telluride SG 596,204, MSRP 41,060, includes all rebates and incentives, must finance through KFA, excludes tax title license with approved credit, dealer stock only, see dealer for complete details, offer valid through 131/24.
I got Jeff Allen on the line. He's doing numbers I've never heard of before at Gossen Kia South on Mount Moriah.
Randy, when's the last time you heard of a new ride at $163 a month with electric EPA range of estimate 310? I got it in a 2024 Kia EB6, $63.96 due at signing, 36-month lease. Or a 2025 K4 GT Line, $206 a month, $34.99 due at signing, 24-month lease. 2025 Telluride S front-wheel drive, $398 per month, $39.99 due at signing, 24-month lease.
And every Gossett Kia comes with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 at 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. And once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It's a Thirsty Thursday, always brought to you by the best. That's Tito's Handmade Vodka. If life hands you lemons, don't freak out, don't fret, don't stress. Just make a lemon drop. Make sure it's with the best. Tito's Handmade Vodka. I got my homie, the historian, in the house, and guess what? We don't have a great slate of college basketball, but the Tigers
for yourself,
do.
John.
There's one
I mean,
great
good
college
Lord.
basketball game tonight I'm interested
It is a mid-major showdown tonight.
Listen, I don't smoke mids. I only smoke exotics. I only smoke the dank. I only smoke the...
It's an A-Sun night, John.
The best.
North Alabama
The
playing
creme de la
tonight.
creme.
Gonzaga's playing tonight.
I'll smoke Smalls.
Washington State's been good this year. They're playing tonight.
This how we got blown out by Arkansas State.
That's right.
That mentality.
Oh, he's in the lobby talking to Arkansas State going, it's okay when y'all lose. It's
Hey,
a great
man,
Memphis
don't
team.
feel bad. Don't feel
Come in and beat
bad.
them by 13, please.
Don't be sad on the bus going home. I'm like, damn, man, they put y'all up in
Arkansas
the
State
Weston
plays tonight. Speak of the
to
devil.
get whipped. But no, for real, I'm not betting on the Tigers in Temple. It's 8.5 right now. But in the NBA, there's Oklahoma City, the Cleveland Cavaliers, part 2. Cleveland took the first one. OKC's -2.5. The historian. Who gets the game tonight?
Thunder, and I think they cover with the 2.5.
Did you say under or thunder?
The Thunder.
Thunder.
Oklahoma
And
City.
the Thunder.
I think Shea goes for about another 35. That kid, Jalen Williams, if that kid is not in the All-Star game, we need the ski mask and the Glocks and everything. We got to get that kid in the game. He is a baller.
He does it on both ends.
On both ends, just like Shea.
Unlike LeBron.
Petty. When they get Chet back, that's scary. That's real scary hours, as the kids say.
All right, now like is Cleveland still like Rodney Dangerfield, not getting any respect?
Respect, man.
So
they took a hard loss the other day to Indiana, but they came back and bounced back pretty well. That was right after the game with the Thunder last week, which had the most remarkable third quarter play that I've seen.
Guess what, boys and girls? That's our time. Peace.
Niagara money line.
It's here, the 36th annual January sale going on now at Sunrise Buick GMC in Wolf Case. Didn't get what you wanted for the holidays? That's okay. Now's the time to take care of you. Are you 100% happy